Hey guys, it's good to be with you again. Just wanted to get a picture of the Umzimkhulu Gorge here. It's the most beautiful place, and I'm just enjoying the silence of this amazing place. But I want to talk to you about a song that's Casting Crowns. If you know anything about contemporary Christian music, you'll be familiar with this group called Casting Crowns. They wrote a song that said, spoke about being between the altar and the door. You know, if the truth be known, most of us kind of live somewhere between the altar and the door in our Christian lives. The altar of fervent faith, the altar of full-on sacrifice, and the door that is the door of doubt. And we live sometimes between these two things. We kind of fluctuate. It's not very often you find somebody who lives entirely on the altar of sacrifice and the altar of full-on faith. But there's a lot of us that kind of move between these two places. I want to talk about this dilemma for just a short while today. You know, sometimes doubt is not the opposite of faith. It's the breeding ground for deeper faith. You know, sometimes when we see people who declare faith after faith after faith after faith, I'm not always sure, and I don't want to judge them, but they leave me feeling very guilty when I can't live like that, because I have kind of sometimes doubts. I wonder at the birth of a child, and I've been at the birth of all of my kids, and I just see faith written all over this thing, the wonder of God and His creation and the beauty of the birth of children and all of those beautiful things. And I have such faith when I witness that. And then, like John Ortberg says, and then I turn on the news and I read about children who have been abused and children who have been raped and children who have been killed violently. And suddenly my faith turns to doubt. Where are you, God, when these kids are dying? Where are you, God, when the world is in pain? And I fluctuate between the faith of the beauty of this thing and the doubt that comes when I turn on the TV and I see the news and I wonder where God is at that time. It's kind of like a friend of mine who is in a wheelchair. He had a tragic accident when he was young and in his prime, so gifted, so sharp, so articulate, and physically just at the prime of his life. And then one day he has an accident and he has lived in a wheelchair forever. And we have prayed for this guy. He's been prayed for by I don't know how many people who have prayed prayers of faith over this wonderful man. And he still sits in his wheelchair. Fortunately for him, his wheelchair is just a wheelchair that caters for his physical need. His faith is so strong. His faith, even though he sits in a wheelchair, is stronger because of his sitting in a wheelchair than it would have been if he'd been living a perfectly healthy life. And so doubt can sometimes be a great strengthening place for our faith. And I guess as we go through life, if we're honest, there are times in our lives where we may feel the same way. We look at the beauty of faith and the sermons that you hear and the verses that you read, and you say, man, that is so cool. That is so awesome. And then in your personal experience, everything goes wrong. Life doesn't happen as faith declared that it would happen. And you sit at the door of doubt. People, let me tell you, that's normal. Don't fight with doubt. Use it as an opportunity to deepen your faith. Because in the big, wide, real world out there, faith and doubt are the same coin, just different sides. And so if we can come to terms that will help us with our doubt and sometimes the things that don't always happen the way we wanted them to happen, but let's have a look at that and see in our doubtful situations where the faith isn't somehow growing underneath there. As long as we don't do stupid things, as long as we don't get too angry, as long as we don't walk in a huff away and close the door, as long as we're in the door, we're still close to the altar of faith. We live between the two. I hope you find that that's normal. This is normal Christianity. And I hope that your faith grows in that environment of doubt. Have a great day, you people. We love you lots, man. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.